If I didn't know your good luck was only temporary, I'd be quite annoyed.
Mr. Full House is complaining? If his hands were any more indecent, he would be arrested.
With the Baron's soldiers, he might be arrested even if his hands were decent. I can't complete a strike to save my life.
Or your fortune.
Lieutenant Commander Ellis. He prefers athletics to parlor games. Mr. Spock. He prefers chess to poker. Dr. McCoy wishes he had a better poker face. James T. Kirk. He prefers poker to chess. A German card shark. A German card shark.
A German card shark?
A German card shark. This barrel is full of beer. Looking through a ragged knothole, it is obvious that this cupboard is empty. Cups, dishes, and other supplies are stored on these shelves. This landscape does not look like the work of a professional. There is a date circled on this calendar, October 16, 1918. A wood-burning stove, which heats this cellar on cold October nights. Cups, dishes, and other supplies are stored on these shelves. These crates contain potatoes.
Poker.
Poker. I remember this time in medical school where I got into this game.
Doctor, I see no relevance of your story to this situation.
Spock, did anyone ever tell you that you can be damn rude?
Poker. How unusual to find this activity in Germany during this period. Fascinating.
Fascinating? Just because your ears grow when you bluff?
I've been known to play a mean hand of poker on occasion. I imagine you do too, Kirk, except people seem to keep calling your bluff.
Welcome. I am Kurt Nielsen, owner of the Gossos Brewery. If you care to join, feel free, if you can pay the stake.
Hello, I am Richard Sondergaard. I publish the local newspaper. It's nice to see someone as famous as you, Lieutenant Colonel.
Doesn't it worry you, Herr Sundergaard, that you know an enemy ace is standing next to you?
The Baron has given orders for everyone in Gossos to treat you well, Herr Kirk. A fellow pilot honoring fellow pilots, I suppose, although I would not trust the military to follow those orders to the letter.
I'm Werner Gellert, the shoemaker. If you are not prepared to play, please leave us.
Excuse our friend. He doesn't like to perform in front of an audience. Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me about the war?
My son is in the army. I fear for him constantly. I've tried to convince the commander at the armory to authorize his transfer. I would do nearly anything for that transfer. Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me about the war? What can you tell me about Trelane?
Herr Kirk, you know the Baron quite well, do you not? I doubt I could tell you anything you do not know. Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me about? Can you help me? Can you help me get into this poker game?
I would lend you a stake to enter this game, but it appears that I will have to win a few hands to give you that money.
We will return here. Let's get back into the street. Seems to be quite empty right now.
Charming place. Less technology, more humanity. I like it.
Somewhere in the middle of this European charm is Trelane and the missing ships. Let's find it.
Mr. Spock continues to ponder the illogic of the situation. Dr. McCoy is glad that he is not a doctor in the hospitals of this time period. Lieutenant Commander Ellis wonders where his ship is. James Kirk, wondering when Trelane will make his grand entrance. This boy looks like he's anxious to make a sale. This clock looks expensive. A sturdy wooden table. A barrel of apples. A barrel of pickles. Jars of fruit are preserved in this translucent container.
There's definitely a lot of detail in this shop.
An empty kettle rests upon this stove. Candy canes in a jar. jelly beans in a glass jar. Pans, dishes, and lamps line this wall. Metal buckets in a rough pile on the floor. This shop is not experiencing a shortage of shoes. Bottles and cans line the back wall, as well as flowers in a vase. A rather badly painted seascape. Sacks of flour and household cleaning implements line this wall.
Captain, these items are not typical of what would be available in a German shop in the 20th century. I would theorize that Trelane has set this up for a reason.
Could he be testing us? I've read many reports of superior intelligences testing human beings.
Trelane does not qualify as superior intelligence, Mr. Ellis. He's not testing us. He's playing with us. And I'm rather tired of his games.
I guess we're getting shore leave a little early. Sort of.
This looks safe. I don't think anyone is going to die here. Do you agree, Captain?
One never knows, Mr. Ellis. Don't push your luck, Mr. Ellis. I don't know. Foot and mouth disease can strike anyone, anywhere, and it can be fatal. One never knows, Mr. Ellis.
Yes, sir.
Here we are in the early 20th century, living in history. It's a shame that this is only a cheap sham by Trelane. I could get to like this place.
The power contained within one of the clocks is off the scale, Captain. It matches with the sensor readings I took of Trelane's triplane on the Enterprise.
Theories, Mr. Spock.
Captain, the last time we encountered Trelane, he used various items, in particular, a machine hidden behind a mirror as a source for his power. This clock is another one of Trelane's power objects.
And if we could find and destroy enough of Trelane's power,
The village of Gothos would come apart, and we might find out what happened to the Enterprise.
Mr. Spock, continue scanning for power sources.
A young human male in good physical condition. The track order says they're delicious, Jim.
What?
The track order says there's nothing wrong with these pickles, Jim. If I was pregnant, I might even want one.
Huh?
A joke that great-grandmother McCoy told me once.
It must have been funny once, I guess.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for that broom?
That old thing. I can give it to you now. You can pay me later. I'm sure my boss, Mr. Uland, won't mind. Hi, can I help you?
I see you're selling food packages.
You look hungry. Sure, have it. Pay me later. Hi, can I help you?
Is that a coil of rope over on the wall?
That rope? No one ever buys rope. Go ahead and take it.
I like this boy.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for those shoes?
I'm sorry, but those shoes have already been paid for. Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for those shoes? That really is a beautiful clog. Can you tell me how to make money around here? What do you want for that really is a beautiful clog?
It sure is. I can let you have it. Pay me later. Or maybe not. Mr. Uland wouldn't like me to give away something that expensive on a promise. Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for those? That really is a beautiful clog. Can you tell me how to make money around here?
Sure, have some money. Oh, I don't have any. I wonder why.
What? Have some money? I'll have some money.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not Bonnie and Clyde.
Alright, I think we're done here for now. Oh, they put the fire out.
I would not get near that dog if I were you, Jim. It's suffering from rabies.
A quaint bell tower summoning the children to school. This building is being used as a school for the children of Gothos. This is an old apartment building.
This is the armory.
This building is being used as an armory where troops are stationed and military supplies are kept. Dobermans. They were used as war dogs during the First World War and bred to be far more vicious than they were in later years. James T. Kirk against the skyline of rustic 20th century Europe. Mr. Spock, contemplating the inordinate number of times he has traveled through time or visited parallels of Earth cultures. Mr. Ellis looks like he's spoiling for a fight. Dr. McCoy wonders at the many unusual situations he has been through with his captain.
I wonder what surprises Trelane has in store for us.
That's a cheery thought. Where's the hospital? Even when they heal, they butcher people.
Doctor, your criticisms of this era's medical technology are illogical. They did not have the tools to perform surgery without cutting open their patients. Perhaps one day, our medical practices will seem primitive compared to the standards of a future generation. More incongruities, Captain. The layout of this town is as irrational as Trelane.
Just think of it, Captain. Only one security officer for you on this mission. It must be unusual to have so little protection.
Don't try to provoke me, mister. You may regret it. Do you always say things that are unbecoming a Starfleet officer? I don't know. It seems like I'm carrying excess baggage on this mission. Do you always say things that are unbecoming a Starfleet officer?
Yeah, he has been a bit of a dick.
I don't know what you mean, sir.
Maybe we should feed him. Or her.
The dog is now hungrily eating its meal.
Terran dog suffering from hydrophobia.
Can you cure it, Bones?
If I can cure Vulcans, I can cure dogs. I need to find some way of getting close to it.
Maybe we should hurry up.
Not necessary, Jim, unless Mr. Ellis wants something for his blood pressure.
What blood pressure?
I'm a bit confused by that one. Maybe I misclicked.
Another satisfied patient.
And the dog has gone.
What is it, Klingold? Ah, visitors.
A one-armed gentleman sitting on a sofa. James T. Kirk, captain of the USS Enterprise. Or is it Lieutenant Colonel Kirk of the United States Elite Enterprise Squadron? Mr. Spock, first officer of the USS Enterprise. Or is it Major Spock of the United States Elite Enterprise Squadron? Dr. Leonard McCoy, chief surgeon of the Enterprise. Or is it Captain McCoy of the United States Elite Enterprise Squadron? Walter Ellis, chief security officer, first officer, and acting captain of the USS Zimbabwe. A picture of the Battle of Waterloo by a starving German artist. A pot of gladiolas. You can tell that Herr Eckhart has a green thumb.
You taking a piss?
A gramophone. No songs are playing. The floor is quite dirty.
You know, this floor could be cleaner.
I wasn't expecting this.
Do you like living here, sir? This place looks very comfortable.
Thank you for the compliment, but I'm sure you're used to nice, clean places in America. I wish that I wasn't so old. I'd like to visit the New World someday.
A domesticated longhair. A large plushy chair, the sort that cats prefer. Several objects of sentimental value line the mantelpiece. Cherished possessions that have been gathered over the course of a lifetime admired by friends and family that are now dead.
I hope I'm not this lonely when I get older.
Depends on how many of your friends live to old age.
Oh, shut up.
Hello, kitty. Nice kitty.
Nice cat.
It sounds like my pet tribble, Rodney. She has this nice pattern on her fur that looks just like this one.
Tribbles are genderless creatures, Commander.
It always seemed like a woman to me, Mr. Spock.
I'm attempting to find a pattern in Trelane's illogic. Please do not disturb me.
Careful, Spock. Illogic might fry that delicate Vulcan brain of yours.
Given the many missions we've served together, I'm quite used to being bombarded by illogic and human emotion.
I hope I'm not this lonely when I get older.
Depends on how many of your friends live to old age.
Terran cat, feeling very self-satisfied. Human male in good physical condition.
What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell me about the war? I noticed that you have only one. What can you tell me about Trelane? Where can I go to earn some money? What can you tell me about the war?
We are a nation of warriors, Colonel. Like your America, we were born in war. We believe that military might gives men the right to take what they want.
What about diplomacy?
I wish we understood it better, Colonel. The pieces of paper that our diplomats sign have too little meaning. If we paid more attention, we could have prevented this latest mad conflict. I lost my grandson at the Marne. What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell me about the war? I noticed that you have only one.
I lost my arm in the last war, January 8, 1871, during the siege of Paris during Bismarck's war with France, shortly before Germany's glorious victory. It still didn't bring my arm back. What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell me? What can you tell me about Trelane?
Ah, yes, the glorious Baron. I'm a lowly soldier, retired and alone, except for Gringold. I don't think I can tell you anything about him. What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell? Where can I go to earn some money? Where can I go to earn some money?
I might be able to give you some money, Colonel, if I could think of something useful that you could do for me.
Well, the floor is dirty, and we do have a broom.
Thank you, Colonel. You Americans are very helpful. It's a pity we're at war with you. But wars always end, and today's enemy often becomes tomorrow's friend. Unfortunately, the reverse is often true. Here, it's not much, but money has its uses.
Thank you. Perhaps you might be able to use a broom around here.
Why, thank you, Colonel.
This is money, necessary to get goods and services in the 20th century.
Okay, we're done here.
And remember, democracy is weak. It relies on the votes of the foolish masses who are incapable of choosing strong leaders. Constitutional government fosters weakness. The rejection of republicanism is what won the last war for Germany, and it will bring us victory over these stupid Americans.
That's not what they told us at the academy.
Wait, why are you all speaking English?
This clock seems permanently fixed on 5 minutes to 3.
Well, I know why they're speaking English. I was just being facetious.
The exteriors of other buildings are visible through these great windows. Lieutenant Commander Ellis looks at this artifact of the 20th century in disbelief. Dr. McCoy, remembering his old xenobiology classes. Mr. Spock observes that the human education system was once full of inaccuracies. James T. Kirk, his school looked nothing like this. This appears to be a picture of Kaiser Wilhelm II. This is a map of Western Europe. This seems pointless. Frau Humperdinck looks like she can't wait for the day to end. The teacher's desk. Captain Hauptmann looks like he'll fit right into German society in 20 years. A chalkboard. A young German girl. A young German girl. A young German boy. A table with some blocks and a book on it. A cupboard. It is currently shut.
I wonder what Dickens would have written if he had been exposed to a place like this.
And I thought 20th century hospitals were grim.
And yet the very best people who taught in a place like this had the power to uplift people's lives, to teach them knowledge, principles, and self-awareness. This was a battlefield where millions of unknown soldiers of knowledge fought to elevate humanity from barbarism.
Fascinating.
It's been a long time since I've been in school.
Captain, another abnormally high reading emanating from the chalkboard.
A male human in excellent physical condition. I see that the tricorder is not very good at judging character.
Boys and girls, let me introduce you to an example of inferior Republican stock. Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Kirk. Tell us, Kirk, how can you defend the ludicrous American system?
I see no reason to defend anything, Captain. These children are, in spite of your efforts to indoctrinate them, quite capable of growing up to become adults who will make up their own minds. I am not interested in a debate, Hauptmann. If your system is so superior to America's, how come you're losing the war? Why don't we put it up to a vote? You have a choice between a system that gives you leaders who will oppress you for life, or a system which, imperfect though it may be, allows you to influence your leaders and gives you a chance to bring them to account. All in favor of Hauptmann's system, say aye.
Aye!
All in favor of my system, say aye.
Aye!
It appears that they don't want what you offer them, Hauptmann.
I will not tolerate such insults. The Baron will make you all pay.
Jim, wasn't that a violation of the Prime Directive?
Dr. McCoy, this is clearly an imaginary culture with no real existence. The Prime Directive cannot be reasonably extrapolated to affect such a culture.
I'm starting to think that it would just have been easier to punch him out. But not in front of the children, I guess.
Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about the war?
It's horrible. With any luck, my students won't have to fight in such a war once they get older. Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about the war? What can you tell me about Trelane?
Ah, the Baron. Such a charming man. If all the military and Gothos were like him, it would be a better place to live. Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about the war? These children are something, aren't they?
They are a little rambunctious, aren't they? Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about them? I didn't realize they let mad dogs teach children. You know, what do you think of... I didn't realize they let mad dogs teach children.
He's a rather enthusiastic officer. Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think? You know, I've heard that chalkboards can be very dangerous to children. The chalk is very bad for the lungs. Maybe I should remove it.
You want to remove my chalkboard? Nein, absolutely not. I wouldn't consider it unless you gave me a letter from the superintendent telling me to do this.
Are all Americans as handsome as you, Colonel Kirk?
Why, Bones, you're never at a loss for words. You answer her.
Hi.
Ingrid is very shy, Colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel Kirk, when I grow up, will you teach me how to fly as good as you?
Well,
I guess we're ready to ship you to the academy, Jim.
Wow, a real American pilot. Can I shoot you as an escaped prisoner?
No.
Frau Humperdinck, Colonel Kirk won't let me shoot him. Is that fair?
Maybe next time. Okay, what's happened here?
The commander of this armory. He is currently unconscious.
Oh, the beer. Maybe I was a bit premature with this.
A soldier. He is currently unconscious. A safe. It is currently unopened. This painting of a storm at sea isn't impressionistic, just poorly painted.
I guess we'll be having these conversations in a separate video.
A supply case holding some of the commander's few possessions. A rack containing German rifles. A picture of a Prussian soldier circa 1871 standing at attention. Best Huntsman 1912. This trophy belongs to the commander. A table. Lieutenant Commander Ellis says nothing, but waits. James Kirk, his eyes narrowing in disapproval at this place. The commander's desk, covered with papers. Mr. Spock continues to ponder the illogic of the situation. Dr. McCoy has always had a dislike of military things. A painting of a Prussian cavalry officer on horseback. This seems pointless. A plank rests against the wall. It will be used to cover a rat hole when the soldiers find time for honest work.
I don't like the looks of this place, Jim.
Fascinating. More illogic. Why would a German colonel be stationed in a small town like Gothos?
Maybe he likes the climate.
These people don't seem to like visitors.
And I thought these people were supposed to be friendly to tourists.
That was some smart work, Dr. McCoy, to drug their beer.
Thank you, Commander.
It's nice to see someone on the Enterprise is clever enough to avoid risking people's lives.
I think this guy here will be ready for a punch in a minute.
Human male unconscious. Human male unconscious.
A German World War I Army rifle, Captain. There are no unusual readings from it.
There don't have to be.
Indeed, Doctor. By this period, firearms were extremely efficient and deadly.
You have taken one of their rifles.
Don't we have enough of those damn things?
I guess maybe there was a reason for drugging them first. We'll find out in a separate video.
The commander of this armory. He is currently unconscious and tied up.
I could mind meld with him to get the combination of the safe.
Do it, Spock.
Trelane.
Spock, snap out of it.
He's not paying attention to me. Run away.
The combination, Spock. Concentrate on the combination.
Kirk. I must have revenge on Kirk. Every great man has his enemy. Nothing could be more fun than revenge. The sensation to end all sensations.
Spock!
I am back, Captain. I was able to mind meld with Trelane to an extent through his replications. These men are the crew of the Shinobi, the original freighter that Trelane captured. Their thoughts have been altered by Trelane.
Where is the Enterprise, Spock?
Or the Zimbabwe.
I received the impression that Trelane is holding them prisoner. I also got the combination for the safe. Right 43, left 18, right 29, pull.
I thought for a moment that we'd have to enter it manually. Thank God for that. Well, not God, but you know what I mean.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You'll never get me to talk.
I would prefer that you didn't. You're nothing but a figment of Trelane's childish imagination. You're even less important than he is. Where's Trelane? Where's my crew?
I will tell you nothing.
It's not firing.
The phasers have been completely drained of energy.
Courtesy of our charming host, no doubt.
No doubt. Well, gentlemen, if we're going to beat Trelane, we'll have to beat him on his own terms.
I guess this is Trelane's own terms.
You presume to threaten me, Colonel?
I want you to sign transfer papers for Sundergaard's son. Send him away from the front.
How typical of the press. Not too willing to sacrifice for the good of the nation. Untie me, and I shall sign papers to take this little coward away from his duty.
I'll get it.
You have taken the signed transfer papers.
You'll never get me to talk.
I would prefer that you didn't. You're nothing but a figment of Trelane's childhood. Where's Trelane? I would prefer that you didn't.
I will tell you nothing.
Okay. I think we're done here for the moment.